All right, we're going to do what would you do again, and we're going to chat a little bit about this other case. So I have another prospective client that is a young man, not too young, like mid-20s, late 20s, and he's single. He has basically been working in a job that requires him to be very mobile. And there's a lot of stairs and things like that in doing this job. Now, he does have a condition that, that he didn't know about, that, ultimately deteriorated over time, and it made it almost impossible for him to walk upstairs. But he doesn't know exactly, in the beginning, he didn't know exactly what was going on. So he needs care, right? He needed to go see a bunch of experts and a bunch of doctors, right? And in the process, because he doesn't have mobility, he no longer can work. And he is let go from his position, right? So he's now unemployed. The question is, what would you do? Right? You're a single person. You do have family support, but you literally have gone over a period of time from being a full income earner to not being able to do anything, right? So I know a lot of people are saying, well, that's a perfect condition for disability, right? Although definitionally I agree, the issue with disability is he is under 50, right? And that makes his case more challenging. And I think you're hearing some of this play out in the news that, there's all this waste, fraud, and abuse. And so, there's a lot of pressure on the Social Security to not just grant disability to anyone, to be very rigorous. And because he's under 50, the most likely situation is going to be they are going to say, you can still do a desk job, right? This person can't imagine that that's what they're going to do. They still have mobility issues getting to and from work. So then, disability might say to them, well, you could do a desk job from home, and this is all on the basis that he could actually find a desk job that he could do from home. What would he do? Well, of course, he's going to apply for disability. And, unfortunately, they're going to deny him, right? They're going to basically say, we've looked at your case, and that's not, we don't agree that you're disabled enough that you would qualify for disability. And all while this is going on, he's finding out that, he has an actual situation that means he's got to have a double hip replacement to resolve his issues, right? So he has an immediate health problem that he's got to deal with. He's got to, a doctor has basically said, we can cure you of this, but you're going to have to go through this process. It's going to take time, and so even though he's been rejected for disability, he seems to meet the criteria. He's kind of stuck, right? So he's going to continue to escalate and work through that problem. Now, because he's unemployed, and because of his situation, he is very smart. And this individual basically says, he goes down to the state social services and essentially starts a conversation with Medicaid, which is the smartest thing you could possibly do when you're in this situation, because you're fighting with Social Security over whether or not you qualify for disability. He's going to go to Medicaid and he's going to basically say, I don't have income. I need general assistance, right? So that's income because he's incapacitated, and I need medical insurance, right? And I don't have any income at all. And I am going to, and so he almost immediately qualifies for both general assistance and Medicaid. And Medicaid picks up all his doctor bills. He's fully covered. He has almost zero out of pocket. But still he has a little income from the general assistance. But, he's able to at least get a trajectory in getting his issues resolved. But Social Security is still kind of fighting him, and he's going to go through at least one or two more appeals with them and be continuously rejected. So again, things are looking a little better, but what would you do, right? What would you do if you were in this situation, right? You feel a little bit, you could easily get depressed, but this individual did not. He had a very strong family support, and that family support really kind of pushed him to kind of keep moving it along. So he has Medicaid, he has general assistance. He finally makes the decision that he needs legal assistance, and he hires an attorney. Okay. So you might say, well, he doesn't have any money. How does he hire an attorney? Well, the way disability attorneys work is they take a percentage of your back payment that you're due, right? So as soon as he became disabled, there was a certain amount of eligible money that he could get, right? And so they take a percentage of the back pay. They're not allowed to take anything more than it's a little less than $6,000. And so now he's fighting his way through, I believe, a third or a fourth appeal. I can't remember which one. I'm very bullish that with the support of an attorney, he'll get it done, right? And he will get back payment. And he really needs that because he isn't this solution. You're getting both of your hips replaced. It's very rare to do them both of the surgeries simultaneously. He did find a doctor who's planning to do that. And then there's a very large rehabilitation process that he needs to go through to kind of get this thing done. But once he's done, he can come off of all of this extra help. He can go back to the workforce, and he can do his life again. This is a person who was athletic, was not lazy, worked a hard job. And so, he is kind of eager to get back. And I think it's an example of why you got to be persistent, why you can't let the system push you down, and kind of work your way through it. But that's another what would you do? I'll let you know if I hear anything back from him on how his latest appeal with Social Security goes. But I am very hopeful that he does, in fact, get what he's owed.